What is good, you sexy bastards? Welcome back. It is SCG, and I have another GTA 5 online video for you today. Now, this particular video is actually going to be more directed towards Save Editor. This is going to be a part 2 to how to modify your vehicles in Save Editor. I did post a video a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen that yet, I will leave a link just up top. And you go ahead and click on that and watch part 1. Now, this is going to answer a lot of the commonly asked questions, or the most common questions I keep getting asked on the previous videos and by DMs and things like that. So please, please, please do yourself a favor, and me a favor for that matter, and watch the video to the end. All right, seems like you guys have the attention span of a 3-year-old child sometimes, and you don't watch the whole video. And things I cover is already covered in the video, like liveries. I covered liveries a little bit in the last video and explained how to do it. Now it has changed. I did talk about it 11 minutes into my previous video, but it has changed, and it has changed for the better, so good news. So I will talk about that. Also, we want to make sure that we're downloading the actual save editor from the source directly. So it is the x3t-infinity/GTA_V. I will leave a link down below. Make sure you're downloading it from there. A lot of people that are having issues with it crashing or not updating, things like that, tend to be because they have an old version they got from somewhere else. It's not from the actual source. So make sure you download it from the source. Now, the first question I'm going to jump into is people keep having problems with the actual database info not being updated. So things like clothing textures or pictures of clothing or vehicles or wheels. So the first thing you want to do is when you download it, you're going to go ahead and create an account on the Infinity website as well. So once you've created that account, you're going to have a little thing up here that's going to say log in. So I've already logged in, so you're going to log in. Now once you log in, you've got this info tab. So under the info tab, we're going to click on it. You've got database info right here. You're going to click on database. Now here you can see if there's updates. So no update, no update, no update. So you've got the actual editor update. You've got the vehicle database. That's the most common one. So you want to make sure that these are all up to date. So you can go ahead and right click it and go check for update or force update. So my weapon database isn't updated for some reason, so I can click on that, check for update, or I can just go ahead and force the update, either or. You can also go ahead and just reset it here, refresh it. You can clear your cache if it's not working for any reason. So mine didn't work for some reason, but weapons I'm not too worried about. But that's how you have to do it. So if for some reason you do this and it's still not updated, I don't know. Okay? Try re-downloading it, try uninstalling it, re-downloading it. I really don't know. Now, some of the images don't show up. They don't have every single image from the game in the actual editor. So some of the vehicles do not show up. All right, so if it's anything beyond that, you've done that, I have no clue. Message or tweet at Xtiffy, at Save Editor. They have a Twitter. Go ahead and tweet them direct, because I don't know beyond that. I don't work for them. I have no clue. So that has worked for me, but not all vehicles will show. Okay, but I mean, the names are there. That's all that matters. If you know what the name is, who cares if you see the picture or not? Just go ahead and customize it and go from there. All right, so that's the first topic I wanted to cover. Now the second one is liveries, so let's go ahead and jump right into liveries. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up a file here, any one of the saves. And we're going to go into garage, and we're just going to pick any vehicle. So I'm just going to pick the barrage. All right, so let's see if I can find a barrage. So the reason why I'm picking barrage is because I'm going to cover a couple things here. All right, so liveries, first of all, they've added an actual section. If we go here to advanced options, and we go down to where it says livery with an IE, this is the one we want to edit. There's one underneath it that says livery -1 random. Leave that one at 0. This is the one you want to change. So I've already gone and done all the work for you. I've already got the list of what code will give you what down in the description, okay? So it's -1 that it normally is. So for example, if you wanted the $$ on this barrage, it's actually code number 40, whereas normally that would have been a 41. So it's -1. All right. Now that is $$ for APC, barrage, revolter, that kind of thing. If you wanted it for a menacer or a patriot stretch, mule, custom, pounder custom, those are different class of vehicles. You have your armored class, which is older generation vehicles, and you've got your newer after hours vehicles like the mule and all the nightclub vehicles. So if you wanted the $$ on the mule, you have to have code number 30. But if you're going to have it on an armored vehicle, it's code 40. So if you haven't watched any of my livery videos in the past, make sure you go back, watch that playlist. I talk about livery flipping 101, liveries 101. Go back and kind of educate yourself a little bit more on the liveries, because not every vehicle holds every livery. All right, so old liveries like the Bully or the Skull does not work on the Mule or the Pounder. So things like that you need to know, because you're going to go ahead and edit them and you're going to be like, oh, what the hell, I don't have the livery, like, SCG lied to me. It's like, no, you had the wrong code or it's just not compatible. All right, so another cool thing with this one, since we're in the barrage, if we go down to the bottom, vanity plate. If we go to vanity plate, put this to the value 1. That is going to give us the Clifford eye. Okay, so barrage, you could actually go into the arena workshop and put the livery, or put the actual Clifford eye on. But if you're doing the Conjali, this is how you would put it on. Change the vanity plate to number 1. All right, so you got livery with an IE, and you got vanity plate down here at the bottom. So that covers that. Now, since we were talking about nightclub vehicles, another common thing is people keep asking me about the Mule. So the Mule, they do not have the bennies, or the livery doesn't stick. That's because there's 4 mules, and there's one that you guys always miss. So there's 3 of them right here: Mule, Mule DLC, Mule 2. These don't work. These you don't want. You want to go very top where all the new released vehicles are, and it's right here. So it's got the little asterisk, Mule Custom DLC. This is the one you need. This will hold the liveries. This will hold the bennies. That is the one that you need. Okay? So that covers that. Now, next thing is interior colors. A lot of people keep asking me, can we do interior colors? How do we do trim color, light color, that kind of stuff? It's not here. It's not in Save Editor. But the good news is it's coming. So Save Editor has listened to our request, and I did see a tweet last week from them saying they are finally going to update it. So they are going to add the interior color, the trim color, and the dash light color. So that is coming. Now, whether or not that's actually going to transfer to online is a different story, but the good news is they are planning on adding it. But as of right now on PS4, there is no way to change the interior color or do a custom interior color with Save Editor. Only exception is if you picked a stock vehicle that had a custom color interior already. For example, any of the Future Shock vehicles have the secret gold interior. So if you did a Z380 or something like that, that would have the secret gold interior if you were to merge that on another car, because that's the standard feature of that particular vehicle. Other than that, you cannot change the actual interior color at this point, but it is coming. All right. Another thing is check marks. How do I know what is check marked? How do I know what isn't check marked when I bring it online? I want to bring in scratch cars online and blah, 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 blah. Well, I actually have a list. I don't know who the founder is. I can't shout out the founder, but I do have a list. I will post it in my Discord. Link down below if you haven't joined it yet. Join my Discord. I'll have it under the SP to MP/DMO tips thread. So look under that thread. There is 2 pictures. Has some circles, little dots, like if it's a yellow, it's good. If it's green, it's not, or whichever. It'll tell you what's check marked and what's not check marked when you bring it online. So somebody's actually gone through and compiled the list. So big shout out to them, whoever that was. Now, for me, I tend to particularly stick to anything that's a worn texture or utility texture if I'm using in-game colors. Okay. Those ones, all the worn or the utility, they're not going to show up check marked. So I'd say 99% of the time you are golden with those. Those are safe bets. So any of these blue, like black poly utility, any utility ones, you should be fine. Blue utility, that, so on. Now, if you were to actually do a texture, then that's a different story. So if I wanted to do a worn texture, whereas like a black worn. So if I did worn, and then I would do a custom color, primary, secondary. Okay, stop showing this shit. And then go into here, and then you can go ahead and do your custom RGB. So if you're doing a custom RGB, obviously whatever your texture is, and then you got the custom over top. So that's not going to go check marked unless you randomly happen to have the exact same RGB as your crew color. Then it would show up as a crew color. So people will say, oh, it's scratched, but that's only if you have the exact same RGB. So it happens a lot when people do pure black, because they have pure black 000, and then they go into, they have their crew color 000, they go into LSC, and it's like, oh, this is check marked. But if you actually go under crew and highlight it, you'll notice the texture actually changes on the car. So if you were to do a worn texture or a secret gold texture and add a pure black on top of it, even though it technically shows up as check marked, it's not. It's a different texture. So your car is not scratched. So people that take it to that extreme, I mean, they got a special place for them down in hell. So I mean, that being said, so I mean, don't worry about that. But if you do the custom RG, you will be fine. And then lastly, basically, is I keep getting comments of people saying, just for DMO, a separate tip is they're getting stuck in the car. So when they are bringing cars online, certain vehicles like the nightclub vehicles or the airplanes and things like that, I shouldn't say stuck in the car, they're getting kicked out of the car. So they try to get into a car to give it to their friend or whichever, and they're getting kicked out of it. All you need to do is start up a event. So you need to start up a CEO event or a motorcycle club event like Headhunter, Sightseer, that kind of thing, and then it will allow you to get into the vehicles. So if you are passing them, doing it the kind of slow method, that will work. But if you are doing the fast method, you don't have to worry about it because as soon as you get in, it sucks them into the MOC and it's good as well. So just a little side tip for you. But I think that's pretty much it. So I hope I did cover everything. If I didn't, drop your comments down below. I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I possibly can. Life has been really hectic lately, so I haven't been able to do any live stream as much as I'd like to, or even just post as much content as I would like to. But that should hopefully change here over the next month or two once I get settled into my new place. So we've got a big move coming and everything else like that. So I do appreciate you guys, sticking by me, subscribing, of course. If you're new, dropping those likes. I do really appreciate it every time you do come by. So hope that was very helpful for all of you guys. And that's pretty much it. So until the next one, this is your boy SCG, and I'm out.